How to have a good day? Well, that's easy. Yeah, but we can't do this every day. We have things to do, and we can't just shelve all of those in pursuit of just doing the fun things. There are, however, some small but pretty mighty things that we can do to help us turn even the crappiest of days into a better day. Before we get started, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicola. I'm an occupational therapist and I make videos about mental health, personal development and generally living well. If you like that sort of content, please consider giving me a subscribe and I will soon be making more regular videos. I'm in my office today, so not a very glamorous background, no houseplants, except for these. There's a lot of building work going on, so I'm trying to find the most quiet place that I can. So here are my 10 habits to set you up for a good day. If you only have one takeaway from this video, it is this. Do not start your day by looking at your phone. Don't let it be the first thing that you do. When you wake up and the first thing that you do is look at your phone and you see all of those notifications springing up, it's a bit like waking up by having a screaming toddler jumping on your bed and shouting in your face about all of the things that they want to do today. You might have that as well, but you can't change that one. What I'm saying is it's distracting, it's overwhelming, it just launches you straight into the day and takes all that control that you could have away from you. Instead, start thinking about something positive that you could look forward to in your day. Even if you're really dreading the day and you've got loads of things on that you don't want to do, you just want to stay in bed. But within those things, there will be small little glimmers of positivity that you can find and you can focus on. For example, you might have a meeting coming up with your boss that you're absolutely dreading, but maybe that meeting is taking place in a coffee shop and you can treat yourself to a fancy latte. Or maybe you have to do the food shop and you hate doing the food shop, but you can find a new podcast to listen to distract you whilst you're walking around and make it a little bit more enjoyable. Look for the positives within the negatives and try and focus on them before you get started with your day. Another similar option is to try and start your day by thinking about something great that happened yesterday or something that you were grateful for yesterday. These are examples of positive psychology, and hopefully you can see how making that little mindset shift can set you up for a much better day. Other things that you can do to set up your day well is to prioritise self-care first thing in the morning. Do something that makes you feel good. So for me, I wake up and I do a bit of stretching because most of the time I wake up feeling like a crumpled up raisin. So yeah, start the day with some stretching, and recently I've got back into the habit of meditating in the morning, which is just amazing, and thank you so much, Headspace. They're not sponsoring this video, I have about 30 subscribers, but I just love you, Headspace. Thank you so much for all of the things that you do. For you, it might be making yourself a smoothie, or doing a workout, or taking the dog for a walk. Take that time for yourself. Get yourself set up for the day without feeling immediately stressed or anxious. Another thing that you can do is to make a conscious effort to take multiple little breaks throughout the day. I know you're going to say, I'm too busy, I can't do this, but I guarantee you will have spent some of the day scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, and without even knowing it. There's plenty of times throughout the day, even if you're the busiest person having the busiest day ever, you can still take 1 or 2 minutes a couple of times throughout the day just to pause and do nothing. We're going to be a lot more productive in our busy lives if we're not so stressed, if we're not so overwhelmed. And if we're just taking a couple of minutes here or there, it's going to help hugely without you even realising, without you having to put too much effort in. Sitting in your car for a couple of minutes before you start the engine, just to do nothing. Or if you're on a train journey or on a bus journey, stare out the window. Just stare into space and do nothing. I do this a lot, actually. I get really travel sick, so I can't look at anything when I'm travelling, and I find it's like a really good chance to be mindful because I just look out the window or look at nothing. And you're having all of that restorative time to yourself without even noticing. Another point and another healthy habit is to drink lots of water. If you're tired, if you're grumpy, if you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, if you're hungry, if you're feeling really unproductive, drink water. Water solves everything. Another good habit or trick is to not fall into the trap of saying, I'm having a really bad day, or I'm having a bad week, I'm having a bad month, I'm having a bad year, it's just a bad year. But if we collect everything under the umbrella of rubbish or bad, it's going to be very hard for us to get us out of that perspective where we think that everything is bad, because there will always be some small little tiny things within those bad moments, and we need to look out for those. We can't just overshadow them with everything is crap. Every day is an opportunity to start again. I have to remind myself of this on a regular because I'm very guilty of saying, I'm just having a bad day, it's just been a bad week. And it's a really bad habit to get into. So it's something that I can work on, and I'm probably sure that a lot of us could work on too. Another important habit to stress is to eat meals mindfully. One of the most basic self-care tasks that we can do is to eat food, to nourish ourselves. If you're skipping a meal, you're already doing your body a disservice. You're taking something away that you need. And likewise, if you're just rushing your whole packed lunch in 2 minutes whilst you're looking at your computer screen or your phone, and you haven't even actually noticed that you've finished eating or that you've had your lunch, you can't remember that you've had your lunch, then you're not eating that meal very mindfully, and you might be missing out on something that could actually be a bit more enjoyable. If we're rushing our food, we're going to get indigestion, we're going to feel heavy and sick for the rest of the day, and you can't really have a good day when you're feeling uncomfortable in your body. Another important point is to avoid doom scrolling. If we're just passively looking at the news all of the time, we're only seeing the dark side of things. How often when you watch the news are they saying positive things? Not often enough. Try and find things that you can look at that are going to show you the positive side of things as well. There's a lovely app called, I think it's Good News Network, I will link it in the description below, that gives you more of the positive side of things that's going on, just to counteract the negatives, you know. Other things that I like to look at or I think can be really useful are TED Talks, things that are going to be inspiring and motivating and set you up for a better day. Maybe subscribing to some inspirational, motivational YouTube channels, like this one. We can't avoid the bad things that are happening in the world today, but we need to counteract it. If we're just following the mainstream media, we're not going to see all the positives that are going on. And I think it's really crucial to remind ourselves that they are there and make a conscious effort to find those things as well. I've never really understood why we start the day looking at news. You know, the first thing to do used to be like look at the newspaper or watch the news. It's not good anymore. There's not a lot of good stuff going on in the news, so maybe don't do that first thing in the morning, or maybe counteract it with something else. We need a variety of things that we're consuming that's not all just negative. And my final healthy habit to set you up for a good day is to get as much daylight as possible. Get as much time outside as you can. I think I talk in every single YouTube video about the importance of getting outside and connecting with nature, but even if you're not getting outside, sit yourself next to a window, wake up when it's light outside, go to bed when it gets dark. So give it a go, try and get a bit more daylight, try and be mindful of how much time you're spending outside or how much time you can actually see the outside. That is it from me. I hope I have inspired you to have a better day tomorrow. As always, please consider subscribing to this channel. If you click the notification bell, then you'll get notified each time I upload a video, which at the moment is a bit sporadic, but soon it will be every week once I have more availability. So yeah, I hope I will see you again next time, and stay well.